Hello, good morning folks. How's everyone doing? I hope we're having a good weekend. Well, today I'm going to be giving you guys a recap of my week, and this is going to go up on the blog page as well. So guys, check it out. We're going to take a look at that shortly. But yeah, let's take a look at what's been going on with my trading week. So I've been, well, for those of you who follow my stuff, you know I'm a huge cable trader, so I'm always trading cable. So yeah, it's been an interesting week. So I'm going to do a recap so we can see what's been happening going forward. So let's pull up the chart. Normally my execution comes out of the 1 hour chart, so yeah, there we go. So now my key strategy when I'm intraday trading is really volume. So I look at volume price analysis, and I look specifically at pivot lines. So I want to see where we've had a balance, where price has been moving a bit freer. So I kind of want to get a sense of the order flow. So my key focus is volume. So I want to know what the smart money are doing. I just really don't care what other traders per se are doing. I just want to know what the smart money are doing. So that's generally the idea. So looking back, let's see what's been happening. So let's start from the beginning of the week, which I believe is the 16th of February. Let's take a look at the calendar. Yeah, 16th of February. So that's been the beginning of the week. Now, not a lot of trading for me in this day, Monday. Right, so I didn't do anything Monday. My day really hit on Tuesday. I mean, this was pretty much a down day, really. It was like boom, 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 boom. The long side was pretty early out of Asia, and the price low volume got really marked up. So it was really evident at this point that we're going to see a solid down move, and we're sitting on this area of balance, 154.39, so that 154.40 kind of zone. And right into the low side, so right into 153.40. So it's very decent 100 pip move down for the day, but I wasn't involved. So on to Tuesday. Well, Tuesday is where I really got involved. Okay, so really it was more like a balanced day, where we got a lot of range of price action. So Tuesday I got the trade from the long side, so I was involved in this action right at the bottom. Right, I knew we were going to have future long days, judging from the volume that came in on this day. So this was at 9 a.m. on the 17th of February. Now there was something really interesting happening on the 17th of February. Now if we're going to decipher that, we're going to take a look at tradingeconomics.com, which is my favorite site, by the way, for stats. You can find everything in here. Absolutely everything on every single country. It's fucking frightening, and it is free. So it's not a subscriber service or anything like that, and the data is on point, comes out exactly when it needs to come out, and it's no delay. So it's a fantastic site. So the key, as you can see, 9:30, 17th of February, core inflation. Well, this came in at 1.4%, better than expected. Now with this site, the beauty is you can go in and see historically what the data is telling you, which is what this means. I mean, it means absolutely nothing without looking at it from a historical perspective, which is what I like to do. So we've had this nice kind of downtrend really coming out of 2% towards the start of the year, and the inflation was pretty much bottoming out at 1.2%, and then it starts to creep up, which is hugely important at the moment for UK's interest rate position. So there's a lot of huge expectations now that we're going to see a pickup basically in how things function. So this is going to be an interesting one. So I was looking at this figure anyway, and we had that 1.4% that came in on the data at 9:30. So a lot of the buying really happened at 9:30. So that's interesting. And then we had the headline inflation, which is always another figure that's been off talk, i.e. this was supposed to go deflationary and reflect the pressures of energy, so oil and so on. However, we didn't get under, so we like at 0.3. So this would be a good sign for the market, because really we've had a solid downtrend, which seems to be slowing. Really, people were expecting a further drop. We got a 2-point drop, but people were looking at a lot more. So it's a very good sign. I think, for the UK. So these two figures were big, and they both came out at 9:30. Headline inflation and core inflation, right? For me, core inflation was the bigger one because that's the argument. Headline inflation has been affected by pressures from oil, i.e. Pushing the price down, pushing the CPI down, and obviously from the point of view of core inflation, that shit is stripped away. So what we do have is that 1.4% come in higher, i.e. that we're seeing a rise in the price of basic necessities, which is great for the currency because it shows that there's demand. Demand is starting to creep in. So it's hugely interesting at the moment, and the Bank of England is really much hell-bent on raising interest rates, potentially before the US. So we shall see how that turns out. But ultimately, this is the idea. So I was kind of very, so to speak, bullish on the pound even before this data came out. So that data came out, and we had some huge volatility. So we came into these lows. So as we can see, this was a decent low anyway. The pivots are around here, so we got a lot of buying attention here. So we came in, punched it, boom, and then price started to kick back up. So I was long, and I got out just at the, where did I get out? Yeah. So I was kind of looking for 154 initially. But then, you know, I saw the price action, I saw us pull out of the doji, so I came out of the close of the candle. So 153.89, it was a good get out, right? And price rolled down. Obviously, you got a sell-off back into those lows, so it was a bit of a rangy day, and then hit 153.15, right? So that's now a significant low, and boom, we get some more buying volume. So we saw the first buying volume come in here, and that was at 9 a.m., around about that data, and really just kicked the price up. And then we come in and touch a low later in New York. I guess the Americans wanted a better deal. So boom, at a 153.15. So it was a good opportunity to get long again. I played the moving averages this time. So we came in and we pulled back, and I got out. So it was kind of a choppy scalping day, but you take what you get. Obviously, you know, for me, this was kind of a key zone anyway. But you take what you get. So moving on to Tuesday. So generally Wednesday. Sorry, Tuesday was a good day, right? So Tuesday wasn't a bad day at all. So let's adjust this. So moving on to Wednesday, a bit of a different picture. So again, we already know that we've seen a lot of buying in the previous day. The inflation data was good, so I was always bullish. So for me, it was just looking for a better deal to buy at, which came at 7 a.m. So at 7 o'clock, I saw the volume kind of pick up at these lows. So again, this is area of solid balance. So these are pivots. So these are not exactly support and resistance lines. These are just pivots where price generally made it turn around and people decided it was time to go the other way, or actually just a full pivot. So yeah, so we see this push in, and the market stops, and then sooner or later, coming at 8 o'clock, we get more or less the biggest volume of the day on the bull side, and that pushes us over the 55 exponential. So for me, it was a long immediately, and boom, I hit it long. I barely had any time to react on it. I was looking for 154 again, but price was moving so fast that I thought, well, I'll look higher. So eventually, I mean, pretty much ended up riding this trade, and I got some 65 pips out of it, basically. So there you go. So that was Wednesday. So Wednesday was kind of it, and then we saw this huge sell come in. Obviously, we see some massive balance area. So we went all the way to 80 on this one, 54.80. So it was a huge move, and then boom, cut back in, and then we know that, well, it's going to be a selling day most likely the next day. I mean, it's huge selling pressure. Market tries to come back, doesn't get very far, comes out at 50, pulls lower, more buyers rolling. They push it back again into the next day, and through Asia started creeping up and finally hit 60 and then started to bottom out. So we saw coming into London at 7 o'clock. Again, if you look at the volume, highest volume of the morning on the sell side. Volatility. Couldn't get back up again. So once the price pulled back, it was a good selling opportunity. And then started to pull down again. So this was kind of the day, really. So it was what it was. Well, I didn't get involved in this selling, right? So the market came, pushed down, and came into I mean, I wasn't really comfortable. I mean, I saw the volume come in on this candle, so it's a good sell volume. and I thought, well, we're probably going to have a down day, but we're close to the 55, so it's never a good idea to end it here, because again, the risk reward, there's not much coming in. It's like 14 ticks to the 55, so wasn't really interested. I was thinking that I can still get some buying, because again, we're not under 50% of the overall bullish action on Wednesday, so for me, I was thinking I'm going to get some buying out of this. So the market came in, hit the 55, struggled, and I went long. And again, I looked for the base. I was a bit conservative, so I was looking exactly for that 154.50, and pulled into that, and I got off. So again, not a bad day. Not a bad day overall. So I didn't actually get involved in this. So that was that. Coming to this week, Friday. So far it's been fucking brilliant, right? So it's been a good week. And then coming to Friday, I was looking to go on the long side again. I thought, well, we're getting into these lows, it'd be a good opportunity to buy it. So coming to the earlier sessions, of course, got up at where are we? Fucking 7 a.m. I was looking at the price action, and then boom, I get this. Right, so highest volume of the morning. It's like fucking 7 a.m. So boom, out of the lows and off the 55. I thought, fucking great. It's gonna be a long. Well, I should have been patient, because look at the ceiling here. There was a lot of ceiling, and bash, the price crashed down. Well, my stops were a bit tighter, because I figured if we come under the 55, we're dead stick. So I just basically, I had my stops a little bit lower. But hey, boom, I was pretty much taken out before it was like 8 o'clock. So by 9 o'clock, I was done. So I thought, well, we're coming into now the 200 exponential. So there's probably a second opportunity of the day. So now I'm really kind of putting my risk at play. So then we roll in, and we come into the 200 exponential, boom, and we start to dither, and we get some huge buying. And again, the volume is the biggest for the day, and this is at 9 a.m. so there's a lot of retail volume in here as well. So a lot of volatility, and it starts to pull back up off the 200. So I was preparing to go long. I got long at 153.69, and I had to weather this. My stops were beneath this wall, because I knew that the trade has to breathe. There's going to be a lot of stop hunting under the 200 exponential, so I needed to get my stops lower. So my stops were at 153.33, so I knew that the trade just had to breathe. I mean, if these guys go, then shit, I've had a bad day, right? I wasn't too concerned. I knew that this was a solid buying area. As you can see, 3 line pivots here, really guarding it. And 153.40 is where the options were. The FX vanilla options, they were down here. So, for me, it was just a question of, just hold it out. And then we had a boom back up again, and then we start riding. So now the key was to play the averages, and I love that 154. So I was targeting 154. Well, I got one. I got my 154 by the day, and we came off we even went higher, 154.20 again into this area, and then came back out again. So really and truly, we're in a range. So there are lots of pivots. There were a lot of opportunities, but they're only scalping because there's no real direction. So really, the key levels come if we break out of here, and then there's a lot of room to the downside. I mean, initially we have 153.15 holding us, which is also a daily level. So a lot of daily buyers here as well. So I think we can sustain all this activity. And ultimately, again, coming into Monday, well, I think we potentially see a short, because look at where all the sellers are. I mean, we've had a lot of selling coming from the upside, and the main buying handle is gone. So there's a lot of non-agreement going on here. So I suspect that we're going to tick lower and potentially get some buying in. So coming to Monday, I'm probably going to hold the short side, depending what Asia does coming into Monday. But that's the general idea. And if we take a look, because I've been correlating a lot of this stuff, so if we take a look at what's the deal with sterling yen. So we got sterling yen. So this is a daily. We want the hourly. So again, we see the similar price action. So we got that nice little kill. So it's got these guys, they correlate. So they correlate really well. Just a bit more rangy than cable. But ultimately, again, we see that same waterfall price action where I got taken out. And, you kind of know it's a genuine move, because, I need to adjust this indicator, by the way. But what we had was a solid, this would be white, or I would have changed it to black, volume bar, which was huge. And it was supporting the move. So we know this was generally sterling weakness rather than even dollar strength. So sterling was a bit weaker on the day. And obviously got marks down a lot lower, we start to get some buying coming here, and boom, you get this huge buying volume straight above. Would have been a good long position if you were trading yen, because it's the highest volume of the day and it came in New York, so it's a very good chance that we're going to have a bullish day going into the close. And again, it pushed quite higher. So again, we did see that picture late in the day for cable. So again, that's just a good way of correlating your strategies and seeing what the pairs are doing. So that's kind of my week, guys, in a nutshell. So it was a really good week. You're not always going to get good weeks. You know, some days it's just bloody shit, and it is what it is. So looking at the daily, so we've seen these pivots here. So look where we are. This gives you, we're sitting on the 55 exponential. So can we push in? I genuinely think that we're going to see a push in a 154.90 where the real stuff is before kicking back. So again, keep an eye on these levels. You know, coming into 155. You know, we know that there's right just above, there's 155.33, and then we got above 156.20. So we got these levels. I mean 156.20 is going to be solid if in terms of sellers if we come into there. I mean, for now I'm really watching the high side, so 154.94, 95, that kind of area. We might even tail out into 155. So there's still upside potential for sterling. Again, if we cut lower, again, the key level really, like I was saying, is getting under that 153.37, 33, where my stops were. And then obviously under 153. And then we got a lot of downside coming up, which were like 151.9. So the daily is a good barometer as well to tell you where the big money is selling. So we want to know where they're at. And we see the volume's been cooling off on the up move. So who knows, it might not last. We might end up coming back. So I'm still pretty much bearish anyway going into Monday. But the daily obviously gives you a bit more of a perspective. So yeah, hopefully that will help you guys out as well. So yeah, so this is it. Now I'm going to punch you guys. Let me go to my blog, City Monopoly Stock. I'm going to put this on the YouTube upload, so you guys can get to the blog site. So for those of you who follow me, now I tend to blog a lot on weekends because during the week I'm at the firm and I've got analysis to do for them and a bit of trading, which is obviously how you're getting a recap of my week. So I don't really have time to blog the page. But for those of you who obviously follow me and stuff, well, there you go. So I do blog during the week. My last, obviously this video is going to go up on the blog, so this should make sense. So this should be interesting. And yeah, you can subscribe, and I'll send you updates every weekend, so you'll know what's happening. And then you can pop into the site and know that there's some new stuff up there. But yeah, you can see I've got stuff that I've been punching up there, so it's good fun. So check it out, guys, and you can learn a fucking hell of a lot about trading as well, I think. So yeah, so come into the site and have a play around, and yeah, it should be good fun. So yeah, so subscribe up here. I'm going to put the links and stuff down on the YouTube upload and all that. So you guys have a great weekend. Good having you guys as always, and let's talk next week and see how we did overall. But trading's a lot of patience. You are going to make losses, so it's it's important that we bear this in mind. I'm going to try and I think I'm going to put together a spreadsheet of my actual trades, so you guys can see positions I went in and stuff like that. So I'll try and get that up next week if possible. Spreadsheet's annoying. I've got to type in the data, so if you don't see it next week, I'm not shirking you guys. It's just that it's time. But I'm gonna put all that together, and so you guys can get to see my actual trades. So it should be good. But yeah, but beyond that, have a great weekend in the afternoon. Have fun doing whatever it is you do on a Saturday. I'm gonna go do what it is I do on a Saturday, and yeah, catch you all later. Yeah, let's see you next weekend. Have a good one.